Okay, so the wildest thing that happened this weekend in Glastonbury was, like I said before, a liking by Louis Tomlinson of a fan video of Larry Stylinson, which was taken from footage of an interview with him and Harry back, I think, around 2013, 2014. And Harry has got those heart eyes that he's known for, and he's really looking at him a certain way. And in the video, there's like a caption that says, "The way he's looking at him." Um, Louis is often tagged by fans, and so the Larrys that were like going kind of in this like stealth mode over the weekend, what they did was they were really looking very, very closely at their social media. So I guess some of the fans, um, I think some of the fans were uh, in different time zones so that they were able to do this. So nonetheless, the as soon as it happened, people went and chronicled it. So he left that up for 2 hours and then it's gone, but not before people like took it, like, lit up and shared it around the world. But Louis has been known to do this. People have speculated he has a burner account, and that's how he keeps on top of uh, the conversations in the fandom. So for months before he got the dagger tattoo, people were asking for it. They're like, you know, get the dagger, because like Harry got the rose. At this point, Louis knows what he's doing. At this point, he's done this before, where it's like he likes something and then it goes, and then like he'll unlike it. Um, I think at times he forgets to get into his burner account. Um, I think this was a little deliberate, just because he has to have known, even if you're not checking fan chatter, you have to have known that, like, yeah, people were like on stealth mode here. Um, so that video too, just it's a commonly used footage when people make fan videos of Larry. So it's interesting that he liked that one, and it's at this point, he knew that if he was to like it, that there were people watching their socials and they were going to document it. So again, I think he knows what he's doing at this point. It's like too many coincidences. The other thing too is that there was this picture of Harry kissing somebody in a tent at 6 a.m., which a really smart fan had pointed out that, like, wait a minute, why is it that the person he's supposedly kissing only got to Glasgow for like an hour or something? Like, it was confirmed by their publicist. So, you know, why is it that they are able to get this footage? And and especially telling is it is the son. So, um, the son had um, been known as having some kind of relationship with Modest Management, with Simon Cowell, and they seem to always get these exclusives. Like when Louis became this party boy after he broke up with Eleanor back in 2013, 2014, the son got the exclusive look of him outside of a club in LA partying. So when it's the son that seems to have it, it's like, how do you have it when you could not go into this tent with any devices? But somehow you guys have it and nobody's upset, because some of these parties, they'll take your phone, which it kind of screams to a setup. Okay. So again, if you look at the timing of Louis liking the fan video, knowing that the fandom was going to light up with that one, and then Harry's kissing this person that was like literally just got there and somehow coincidentally was able to get papped with her kissing Harry. Like, it's kind of like what Niall Horan has said: if you don't want to get papped, you just don't get papped. So then they got papped is because they wanted to get papped. And why did they want to get papped? Well, did they want to get papped? No, it was their PR team scrambling. Um, so that was like an interesting thing in terms of the proximity of time, where it's sort of like, it's like a chess move almost, but it's it's like somebody pointed out, it doesn't look like he's really excited about kissing the person. And today I saw somebody posting photos of when Harry actually does kiss somebody, either it's in a movie or just a greeting. There's a different way he kisses, and if you if you look at how consistently it's been in these really random meetings with people or in the video with my policeman, there's a way he kind of does it, and it does not look like how it was done in the picture. And I'm going to sound nuts here, but I think it is because um, I think that that actually could have been Louis in a wig, because Louis brought his sister Lottie, and Lottie is a makeup artist. She's been doing this for like 10 years. She really knows what she's doing. And Louis and Harry, they have a very delicate bone structure. Tilda Swinton has this. David Bowie had this. Um, who else? Annie Lennox has it. Like that's where it's a natural androgyny that they have, and usually it's because of bone structure. It's like a certain type of cheekbone, a certain type of like diameter. Like there's a whole math of um, what they call the golden triangle, and if somebody has it and this delicacy, they can easily be made up to look like a woman. And it's such a grainy photo that in person it'd be very clear this is the guy. This is a guy in like a wig trying to look like a woman, but not in a grainy photo. And it's so interesting that the Sun has this photo, but it's like this is clearly an exclusive since nobody was allowed to have any camera taking abilities in this tent, but somehow the Sun has it. And yet what they had was like just one photo that was grainy. I mean, the Sun has professional level stuff, so I don't know what to tell you. Um, and then what else happened was you see Harry walking in and around the area, and then he's greeting a fan, and then in like his backpack, you see like one of those bears, the bears that were like kind of like showing up in the One Direction concerts during kind of I think the last 2 years of their touring. So I may be wrong on this, but there was a time when these little bears that were dressed up in like bondage bears were dressed up where they had become kind of their own little thing, but the fans were saying it's coding, it's coding, it's coding, and then the antis or the people who don't believe in Larry were saying that oh it's the crew, the crew's kind of playing pranks, it's them, they're the ones who are setting it up. But then okay, because it became a thing. If you look up the bondage bears on the One Direction tours, it was definitely they had their own subplot in the whole fandom. But then you see Harry with like a bear. So I mean, come on. He and Louis know that the bondage bears were sort of seen as a little beacon, as a little signal of, hey, we're together. And there, hey, there it is. Okay. So that's a pretty clear photo. But what's he doing with the bondage bear? I mean, he knows what that means. And then, of course, you've got the matching husbands, right? Like, look at the matching husbands, both wearing a cap and a jacket that I think is from the same designer. If I'm wrong in any of this, please tell me. And then Harry's mom posted something, which references back to what's on Louis' shirt, and the shirt was like a hopeless romantic design. Like there's all this coding. Now, I think that sometimes we might overread codes and sometimes we miss a code. And in this fandom, it's a big emphasis on codes, which is really fun. Now, I don't think that we are looking too much into codes because, again, they know what we are writing. Louis especially uses his burner to like figure out what we're talking about. So he has a pulse of what the conversations are. And quite frankly, it's like, we're looking for code. And so Harry's mom posted something that corresponded to like this thing about a fox. And I don't say that I know everything, but like if it's everyone knows there's going to be fans looking into it, and I don't think they're playing into it. I think this is really a parasocial relationship between these two and their fans to like communicate things. But Louis did bring Zara, and then the what some of the onlookers who did go said. that apparently Zara had booked in a hotel room, and then but Louis set up a tent. So it's like, where's your girlfriend, quote unquote? Um, so that between some of these like wearing of clothing and who look who they follow this weekend. So y'all like this is why the fans that like were in the right time zone were really getting their alerts going all over the place. But they're during this weekend, Harry apparently liked the or no, he followed someone named Gracie Abrams, who just released a track called "The Secret of Us," and then someone screenshot it that Harry did that, and so it's like okay. But the interesting thing is, "The Secret of Us" for Gracie Abrams is an album that came out last year, and so one explanation is that he followed her because she's a popular singer. But again, it's like, okay, it's one thing when it's truly coincidental, but it's not coincidental when you look at the totality of everything, right? Because they knew they were being like literally under the microscope for the Larrys. Um, so that that in addition to Louis liking this fan video, to this really kind of like, what do you mean Harry's kissing someone? So somebody also pointed out that there was a headline that talked about Harry partying in some tent with another One Direction member. And it's like, why don't you just say Niall or Louis? Because the press does not have a problem mentioning Harry going to Niall's concert. So they should have had no problem saying that Harry was partying with Niall because Niall was there, right, with Ed Sheeran. But why did they say another One Direction member as opposed to Niall? Because they don't have a problem pairing them together. So that they kind of like okay, this is exactly how it sounds. So the headline was Harry Styles spotted incognito partying into the early hours at Glastonbury. And then the sub headline was the pop star tried to blend into crowds in a tracksuit and shades, joining the likes of Lily Allen and Anya Taylor Joy and another One Direction member. And it's like, it's what you don't say sometimes. It makes people go, why don't you just say who it was? Because we all know their names. Um, Even if we don't know their names, you could go say it. So that, like, if you track all the things that came out, right? It's like it's not just one thing. It's this chain of events. Um, okay, so let's see what else. What else came up? Um, so the rainbow bear, the liking of the tweet, and then there's this thing about Harry wearing the crusty Vans, which is a footwear, which I actually don't know what that means. I mean, I'm not a, I am still trying to figure out all these other like references. So somebody tell me what's the significant of the hairy footwear, and then what was it that Harry's mom posted about that was at the start of Glastonbury. Now, people were really disappointed that they wanted to see a picture of them together, which they, I think that they knew that that was going to happen, so they wouldn't let it happen. Um, but the theory is that when after Louis liked the Instagram, that the PR teams panicked and then they leaked to the Sun that photo, which of course they would. That's what they did when One Direction was around. So again, that's a pattern right there. Okay. And apparently Harry and Louis. Okay, so this is not confirmed, but somebody said that Harry and Louis watched the script from backstage while in each other's arms, according to some like anonymous fan that went to Glastonbury. But there's a significance of the script and what else? Okay, um, I need to go through this again. But um, right now, what we're looking at is a lot of very interesting happenings that in like independently are nothing,